I think it's best for me to clarify any doubts and concerns as far as the paternity. Signing that statement does not necessarily state that I consciously obviously gave permission to someone to have a child with my body, nor was it myself that signed that particular document and or dated. I would like to be sole managing conservator, not joint.
Who does the child live with?
With him.
Okay. And you have stated that you're not in agreement with court costs being billed to you today. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I don't understand why you want everything your way and nothing another way. That makes no sense. That's not in your child's best interest. If you had doubts about DNA, you wouldn't have signed the paper 14 years ago. If you had further doubts after that, you could have done DNA tests over the last 14 years. It's not in the child's best interest to do DNA at this point. Mr. Abrego is taking care of the child. That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know if you think this is comical or what. It's not in your child's best interest to do that. It's in your best interest to not have to pay child support. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm denying your request for DNA testing. You should have done that many years ago. And that way, your child could know if Mr. Abrego wasn't the father, then your child could know who the real father is, if that's the case. But you chose not to. You signed the paper knowingly. The paper says you signed the paper saying that you admitted that Mr. Abrego was the father, that you did not want DNA testing, and that you knew that this was a legal finding in the court order that in that paper that he was the father. If you did have doubts, then you didn't have to sign the paper. Nobody twisted your arm and made you sign the paper. You signed it. You told Mr. Abrego he was the father. Y'all lived together. I can see on there that y'all lived at the same address. And so you chose to have him to be the father. He's taking care of this child. There's no reason for that ridiculous argument. It makes no sense. So I don't want you to ever hear that ever again. I hope you're not trying to tell your child that ever at all either, because that's completely ridiculous. Makes no sense. I'm finding that you're basically only wanting that to not pay child support. Your child support is going to be $610 a month that you're paying to Mr. Abrego. Medical support is going to be $250 a month, and you'll be paying child support, Ms. Lita.
That's a woman for you, if I do say so myself, guys. And I must say that out of all the stories, out of all the people I know, all of this, I've never heard of a woman doing this to avoid paying child support. Because obviously this guy, I'm assuming, has custody, and she just skated out. She's out doing her own thing or whatever. And as the father, he's trying to get child support for the kid. And she's like, oh, you want to put me on child support? Well, I think that I was getting my cheeks clapped 14 years ago. I was dealing with a few other guys, which typically, what is it? Only 30% of the time, the guy isn't the father when they take these DNA tests. So she has questions about, so basically by default, if he's not the father, he can't have the kid, even though they do some laws, and I think this was Texas, you have child alienation, or this was the parent for 14 years or whatever have you. So you're all of a sudden going to say, well, he's not the father, so by default, he needs to come to me or either the real father.